I guess, it's hard to understand PTSD even for a vet, because you don't realize that's what you're going through. You just think you suck at life all of a sudden. Anyway, I think the main thing about PTSD, well, one of the things, and I've never heard anyone say this as far as like any counselor or anything like that, but you always see the picture of the guy getting ready to get in his fighter plane, and he's like, hey, who's the guy that gets shot down? This is that guy, right? So you never want to you don't want to make any plans. Like when you're training, you're like, man, when we get back from this training off, we're going to go to whatever, and have a big steak dinner, or whatever. You don't do that in war. You're not thinking about like, man, when I get back, I'm gonna go out and whatever, because you're living right now. You're living every second right then, and you're living all of life right now. So your future, which is this concept that you've been developing since a little kid, and it slowly, as a little kid, as a kid, you might think a day or two ahead, and then a couple weeks, and a couple years. You've been building this concept of future your whole life. And then you go into combat, and you're living your whole life right then, 1 second at a time. And your future, it's not there. And no one tells you when you get back to start working on it again, because you don't know it's gone. And so realizing that, and I just kind of came to that conclusion for myself, but for other vets out here, man, that was a big turning point for me. That's why there's a lot of hopelessness and stuff like that, because there's no concept of that. Well, when I got out of when I quit deploying, that's when the PTSD kicked in. I didn't even know, I didn't even realize what was going on. But I was working in the DC area. I was working for a government contractor doing like tech analytics, stuff like that. So, but I didn't realize like why am I having a hard time with things that I never had a hard time with before, and that's what it was. But even it's just this lack of understanding of what I was dealing with. But I think some other folks have said it as well, is that it's kind of hard to empathize and relate to us, probably, because we don't even really know what's going on, frankly. And every vet has a different experience, because every vet's a different person. So, you guys have it pretty rough, actually. And the thing about veterans is that veteran problems aren't fun problems. They're shitty. And it's not, so, I really appreciate this, and the support for veterans is amazing. But here's the best kind of support for a veteran. When they piss you off or do something that, is shitty, just take it with a grain of salt. They're working through some stuff.